The title of the project is Understanding the Importance of Species Conservation in Light of Evolution, a Mathematical Approach. The research project is funded by Anusandhan National Research Foundation, Government of India. This is the brief outline of my talk. Is the motivation. We have studied the three systems and references and acknowledgement. So the first is that why plant pollinator mutualism matters. This is the importance of mutualism, essential for ecosystem sustainability and agricultural productivity. And plant reproduction, 3 lakh plant species rely on animal pollinators. And ecological role is the pollinators enhance cross-fertilization, genetic diversity, and crop yield. And there is a biodiversity decline due to loss of pollinators, and pollinator decline causes habitat loss, and predator impact is the invasive predator reduce pollinator abundance. And there are two kinds of pollination. One is self-pollination and another one is the cross-pollination. And these are the stressor of pollinator, direct predation, predation risk. And predation risk, this reduces floral vegetation, and infection reduces pollination efficiency. And 3 dimensions of ecological conservation. One is demographic conservation. This is the population persistence. Functional conservation is the mutualistic performance. And another one is the dynamical conservation. This is the ecological stability. So, species presence alone does not guarantee ecological health. A conserved plant pollinator system should maintain population abundance, effective pollination, and stable long-term dynamics. And this is our goal and objectives of the study, is the identify threshold for persistence and extinction, examine stable, oscillatory, bistable, and chaotic dynamics, and derive conservation implications from the model outputs. And this is the flow of our mathematical framework for species conservation. In study 1, this is the direct predation in plant pollinator system. In study 2, we have studied predation risk and behavioral modification with time delay. And in study 3 is the infection in pollinators with seasonal transmission. This is in study 1. This is the schematic diagram of plant pollinator system, and there is a mutualistic interaction between plant and pollinator, and this is the mathematical model, and there is a mutualistic strength alpha 1 2 and alpha 2 1, and beta is the predation rate. And this is the effect of mutualistic strength. We observe that when the pollinator's growth rate is higher than its death rate, then increasing of this mutualistic strength produces a transition from a pollinator-free state to stable coexistence. And initial predator density that shrinks the pollinator survival basin, and this is the joint effect of mutualistic strength and predation. And we say that lower predation and stronger pollinator mutualistic benefit promote higher population densities. And in study 2, there is a behavioral modification under predation risk, and C is the behavioral modification parameter. And from this, our first figure, we see that intermediate behavioral modification generate stable coexistence, stable oscillation through hop bifurcation. And in second figure, we see that strong behavioral modification leads to a pollinator-free state through transcritical bifurcation. And this is the conservation regimes under interacting ecological drivers. This is the two-parameter bifurcation with respect to pollinator mutualistic strength and pollinators behavioral modification. And from this, we can say that stronger mutualistic support can compensate for moderate state, but not for unlimited predation or behavioral avoidance. Conservation thresholds are therefore multidimensional. And this is the effect of delay that produces stability switching, and chaos in the system. And in study 3, that infection alters pollinator composition and function. And here we say that infection can persist below the invasion threshold, that is, if RINV is less than 1, that does not guarantee that the disease will be eliminated from the system. And this is the infection persistent states have lower conservation values. And from this, from the first figure, we see that this greater plant abundance in the infection-free state, whereas in next two figures, we observe that infection persistence coexistence reduces plant and susceptible pollinator abundance. So coexistence with infection is not functionally equivalent to healthy mutualism. And this is the seasonal transmission that amplify temporal instability. And this is the comparison of our 3 study that in direct predation, in second study predation risk and behavioral modification and delay, and in third study infection and seasonal transmission. So conservation is the sum of persistence plus function, stability and resilience. And this is our some references and our research output. We have published 2 papers, one in chaos and another one is nonlinear dynamics, and third one is under revision. And acknowledgement is the ANRF and our research collaborator Orpita Biswas, Rakesh Mehta and Shashanko Shekhar Maiti, and our institutional support, Department of Mathematics, University of Kalyani. And thank you for your attention.